Hey guys, today I'm going to do a project that's been bouncing around in my head for a long time now. Basically, I want to make myself the perfect stool. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to 3D scan my butt and then CNC it into a stool top and then build the rest of the stool to my dimensions so everything fits like a glove. I think it's going to be tricky at first, especially getting everything to line up, but I'm super excited to start. So without further ado, here we go. So I bought 3 pounds of foam clay, which is really soft. I think it'll mold pretty well. That's what I'm hoping for at least. I think I want the seat to be about 15 or 16 inches around. I found this in my mom's kitchen. This is 16 inches around. Which, looking at it, it's a little big, especially for a stool. The width of the seat's going to be determined by how big my butt is. But I won't really know until I mold my butt. So hopefully 3 pounds is enough, but if not, I'm going to have to order another and have 6 pounds. Because I do want it to have enough depth that it really, grabs me, feels nice. So the plan right now is I'm going to sit on this clay at the right height. I'm going to mold my butt. Then I'm going to 3D scan it. And then I'm going to do some computer modeling, CAD. And then I'll CNC it into the stool. And hopefully after that, I'll be able to fine tune with some sanding and grinding to get the seat pan to really, So we'll see if it works. So I've been referencing this book of Human Dimensions, and a big thing it talks about is how the design of furniture or chairs or really anything should usually be conceived to accommodate the 5th or 95th percentile, so the greatest portion of the population is served. And I'm going to be doing none of that because I want this chair to be specifically for me and no one else. Now, the truth is I'm a pretty average sized person, so the chair will be for a big chunk of people, but I want it to be specifically for me. So every aspect of it is going to be off my measurements alone. So it's kind of like my stool, my perfect stool. Okay, so this is the setup. The height of this is 16.75, which should be about perfect for me with the clay and everything. I'll put the clay on it. I'm going to sit on it, and hopefully everything's perfect. I am going to put up a little wall because I've decided the best way to do this is pantsless to make sure it molds everything best. So yeah, I'm going to give it a go. Oh, they double bagged it. Ooh, yeah, it's really soft. This is going to be good. This is going to be good. Okay. All right. Oh yeah, this is ideal. Why is it like this? I don't. Okay, all right, okay. Oh man, it's really gross, honestly. I'm gonna try to mold it into the best of circle I can. Oh, it's so weird. See, I don't know if this is enough height for what I'm trying to do. So I'm gonna grab my mass of goo, put it on here. Oh yeah, uh-huh. Oh, that's exactly what I was looking for. I just hope it's big enough. Maybe I'll put some weight on it. Oh, hello. Oh, baby. I think I'm gonna have to get some sort of like flexible plastic band to put around it to keep it from all just smushing out, because that's kind of what I'm scared of right now. But it looks about good. I think I'm gonna go for it. All right, here we go. Test number 1. I'm trying to center myself best I can. Oh, it feels so weird. Oh my gosh. What am I doing? Oh, it feels so weird. Ah, it seems to be working though. That did not work at all. 0% worked. Just for reference, this is what we're dealing with now, which is pretty good. Also, is my left leg that much bigger? No, it's just off center. There's no way. Okay, I'm gonna have to go for round 2. Okay, I'm back. Now, I have a second one. So, I have a combined 6 pounds of air-dried clay. And I'm gonna tear into this one. This has to be enough. This has to be plenty. Great, too. Try to warm it up. Okay. So I have 6 pounds of this stuff. And I'm just gonna try it again, see how it goes. This is what I mentioned earlier. So I have my bucket, and it's still the right height, still the 17.5 or whatever it was. Somehow it looks even grosser than before, but I'm just gonna go with it. So I'm gonna pack in this one I have here. I'm gonna try to just kind of, gosh. Yeah, okay. All right, here's go number 2. So, I'm nervous. I'm quite nervous. All right. I think I'm centered about as good as I can be. It's definitely staying in place better. Oh, that's worse. Oh, this is so strange. What am I doing? What am I doing? This is a crazy thing. Luke, it's not as, like, the shape isn't quite as, I don't know, it's not quite what I thought it would look like, but, I mean, that's what my butt looks like when I'm sitting in a chair, apparently, so that's what it's gonna be. Yeah, ta-da! I think it's pretty good, guys. I think it's looking pretty good. Should be plenty deep, so hopefully it's not too deep for my CNC. I'm pretty happy with it, so I'm gonna try 3D scanning. So for 3D scanning, I got an app on my phone which uses like the LiDAR face scanning instead of just the main back camera. And so it's supposed to be able to get pretty accurate scans. I guess I'll find out. This is really tricky. Okay. Go. Why is it? It's really struggling. Maybe I need to like. Okay, so finally, after like 5 or 6 attempts of trying to mold and scan this, I think I got one that's good enough. I ended up having to use Polycam on my phone, and I have a whole 3D layout of the shop, but I think it should work for what I'm trying to do. The problem is this foam, it doesn't really want to hold its shape very well. It'll start to lose its form. So I was really having trouble of sitting on it and then being able to scan it quick enough. I also added a second bar around here to kind of try and hold the foam in place. It's super ugly, but it seemed to work. So I got a good bit of depth, a good bit more depth than I thought I would actually. Now I just gotta go throw it in my computer and see how bad the CAD is. I think the CAD's gonna be a bit of a pain converting the meshes and everything and getting it to look decent. But we'll see. Maybe it'll be easy. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. So when I first got the scan into CAD on my computer, it looked pretty rough, I'm not gonna lie. The mesh was super janky, and I spent a lot of time trying to figure out the best approach to get it to look nice. I tried manually repairing the mesh, but after a while of doing that, I realized it wasn't gonna work on the CNC, and it definitely wouldn't look good. So then I decided I could just go in and redraw all the lines myself. That way it'd be really smooth and organic, and also the CNC would leave a really nice finish. So here I am making a bunch of lines and adjusting them to fit that scan, but just in a more uniform, smoother way. I think it looks pretty cool. It definitely looks like my butt, which is good, and it's a lot cleaner than the original scan. It just took a long time. And for the design, I went through a lot of iterations trying to figure out what would look best with the seat. Originally, I only wanted to CNC the top and have the bottom be flat because that would save me a ton of time. But after working with it for a while, I finally decided it's going to look really cool if I CNC both sides and have it just be this super organic thing. And then because it was so organic, I wanted the base to match that. So I'm going with this kind of flowery looking base, and I'll have to make it out of steel, and it's going to take a lot longer, but I really like how it looks. Also, because I decided to machine it this way, it's too big for my CNC, so I'm going to have to take it to my boss's CNC, which is a lot bigger than mine, and it'll be able to get all that depth. Now I'm starting to mill up the wood. I decided to use ash for the seat for a couple reasons. I really like the way ash looks, but I also thought it'd be funny if I make the stool out of ash for my ash. So I think it'll look really good when it's done. Because it is so chunky though, I have to do a glue up with all the parts, so I don't need just a massive log. And I think it'll look cool, honestly, with the glue up lines when it's all CNC'd. It'll kind of add a topography, hopefully, to it. Now I've headed over to my boss Andy's shop, and Andy makes a lot of cool furniture, and he does a bunch of YouTube stuff too, so y'all should definitely go check him out, but I'm super thankful he let me use his shop to do this. I've been wanting to use music more in my videos, so let me know what y'all think of this, and if you don't like it, you can just skip forward till it's over. Alright, now that that seat's all done, I can get started on these steel legs. So I'm cutting out some parts here on the horizontal bandsaw. And I really got to put some elbow grease into bending all 6 of these legs. This machine isn't exactly made for this, but it does the job just fine. Because the parts are only 3/4 of an inch wide, it's totally fine. I've also learned that there's not really an exact science to bending steel. Every piece is going to be a little different, and it's basically impossible to get them all the same. So I built this jig to kind of allow me to adjust them a little bit, so when I weld them together, everything will be able to line up. Now here I'm just marking everything. I did make my bent parts a little oversized, so I could trim them down to size once I got everything. I also didn't show it, but I drilled and countersunk a few holes in the steel to allow for screws to attach the base to the top. Now, when I fit the ring around here, I realized I'd made a fatal mistake. I accidentally built my jig wrong, and so though these middle parts don't quite line up. Spent like a day trying to figure out how to fix it, but in the end I just tacked in a little inch-long piece of steel, and that worked fine. I am going to have to do something I always hate doing in a little bit because of it, though. Like I said earlier, I'm fine-tuning kind of the shape of everything that my somewhat lazy CAD work and CNC work couldn't get. I kind of hate saying it, but this project wasn't quite as enjoyable as I thought it would be. For whatever reason, this time, certain parts of the project just felt more like work, and I couldn't get into it. And that happens sometimes, and you just got to keep pushing yourself through. But it was right around here when I started fitting everything together that I started to get more excited and realized that this is a pretty cool project. The whole time I'm making this steel base, I'm kind of questioning if it's going to work. One, I was wondering if it'd be strong enough. The steel will definitely have a little bit of flex to some degree, but something just tells me like it doesn't match up with the top great. And I hate saying that after I've built the whole base, but I don't know, it just feels off because I really am digging how the top looks. But let me know what you think of the base because I just don't know if it's there for me. Now, because I made that mistake earlier and I had to just tack in an extra little piece on the steel, I'm having to use Bondo to fill some gross spots. I always hate using Bondo. It just never looks as good as it would if you just did it right the first time. And it's also just nasty stuff that's not fun to use. But I kind of screwed up, so I had to pay the price. Now to finish this, I'm using Odie's oil, and they have a dark formula which is supposed to give it kind of a little bit of a darker look. I think I'm actually going to do several coats of finish on this because I think it'll look cool if the seat's like super glossy and shiny with all the smooth curves. So I think it's going to take a while, especially after it's done. I think I'll come back and do a couple extra coats with maybe wax or something and buff it really good so it just has like a really nice sheen. I was pleasantly surprised with the fitment of these two parts together. It was honestly giving me a lot of trouble the whole time. But now that I have it together, I'm just screwing the steel base to the wood. And I also thought it'd probably be a good idea to put something on the bottom of this so it doesn't destroy the floors. So I had some of this cork lying around and I just used that. And here she is. And it's done. I'm pretty happy with how it came out. I'm really happy with the wood part. I think the wood worked really well on the CNC, and the glue up I'm really happy with. I just really like all the lines of it. It's an exact match, and I'm really happy. I was worried that between all the different processes I was doing it'd get off, but it really didn't for me. And it really feels good. It really kind of hugs you. It's almost like a zero gravity chair or something because my whole butt is supported, so there's no like spots where I'll get numb or anything like that. I still don't know how to feel about the steel base. I've been going back and forth on it a lot. I just don't know if it matches the vibe of the chair because I really like the wood top. I also really like how the steel attaches to the wood top, but just the rest of it I'm not sure about. From the side, I think it looks really good, but from the top, like if you're looking straight down on the chair or on the stool, I just think it looks kind of funky and I can't decide. So let me know what y'all think in the comments. But that's all for this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.